In the beginning of the movie, a man named Renshaw parks his car in front of Hans Morris's mansion. Morris is the president of a $1 million company. He is in the storeroom looking the toys until he finds the one he is looking for. He brings the toy to his study room and stands by the window. Renshaw sees him and gets ready to execute his plan. He loads his gun and puts on a face mask so the cameras won't capture his face. Then, to trick the security guard at the entrance, he uses a phone as bait. A countdown starts on the phone. The guard panics and rushes outside to throw it away. Taking the opportunity, Renshaw attacks him and shoots him. Then he steals the keys from the guard's uniform and walks into the security room with no trouble. After disabling the CCTV cameras, he takes his mask off and walks to the study room. On his way, he comes across another security guard who he kills with no effort. Following that, he walks into the room and kills Morris. After that, he picks up the green fairy toy. In the next scene, he is on an aeroplane flying back home. He texts his client about the success and enjoys the ride. A passenger sitting beside him asks him for a piece of gum. When he opens his bag to get her one, she notices the toy fairy inside. She thinks it is strange for a grown man to carry a kid's toy but doesn't think much of it. When Renshaw lands at the airport, the news about Morris's murder has spread across the nation. On his way out, he notices that a girl has a doll in her backpack that is similar to the one he noticed in Morris's room. He doesn't think much of it until something more strange happens. He notices a green toy on the table at the reception of his apartment building. The toy also happened to be at Morris's table. After returning to the penthouse, Renshaw safely keeps the green fairy on a display table. It has several other souvenirs like money, a pen, glasses and so on, each collected from a person he killed. He falls asleep on the sofa while replying to his emails. In the middle of the night, he is woken up by the doorbell. He thinks it is strange and checks the front door camera before opening the door. Outside, the receptionist is standing with a box. When he doesn't open the door, he keeps the box on the floor and go away. He then brings it in and carefully places it on the kitchen counter. The note on the box is addressed to him but has no information about the sender. Renshaw deliberates that if he should throw the box away, but curiosity gets the best of him. He carefully opens the wrapper and finds a box full of toys. It has been sent from Walrus's company and says that there are bonus surprises inside. At first, Renshaw checks the box to see if it is a trap. When he finds nothing, then he opens the box and sees plastic soldiers, guns and tanks. He brings out one of the toys and inspects it but find nothing suspicious. Later, the box drops off the floor by itself. Renshaw clearly remembers it not being on the edge, so he goes closer to check. To his surprise, the toy soldiers from the box are missing. Then more strange things starts happening. The curtains move on their own and lights switch off. Suddenly, on checking, he finds that someone has cut the cable of light. Suddenly, a soldier from below the table stabs his toes with a sharp gun. It is clear to him that the soldiers from the box are behind all of this. When bends down to check, they start firing at him. Although the bullets only do him little harm, he retreats in shock and fear. Soon they hit him with an explosive that burns his pants. Renshaw registers that the soldiers are tiny but they are dangerous. As they continuously fire at him, he manages to run to the bathroom and locks himself in. His knee is injured and many bullets are stuck to his skin that hurts him. Then he uses mirror to check what's going on in the living room. He sees that they are firing at the light bulbs that the room go dark. When the soldiers notice him, they throw cannonball at him that breaks his mirror. Agitated man goes to his room from the other door and retrieves his gun. He uses it to threaten them and get to the kitchen. From the cabinet he brings out a rifle and showers them with several bullets. Suddenly everything goes silent as the soldiers back off in fear. Renshaw moves the couch cushions so they wouldn't have a place to hide. When they make no more noise, he flips the entire couch over and sees their dead bodies lying beneath. The survivor ones help them and get them on jeep. Man watches them in shock, not to believe his eyes. When they try to run, he steps on many soldiers as he can. Some continue firing at him, but when Renshaw shoots them, the vibration from a gun bullet knocks them out. However, the attack doesn't stop there. 3 helicopters emerge and launch towards him. They attack him with a cannonball, but he somehow dodges it. Yet they overpower him by showering him with missiles. Man quickly goes to his bedroom and locks himself in. He looks into the mirror and is terrified to see many cuts in his face. He puts alcohol on it and dresses the wound to his best. Then a huge ball bangs on the door, making a hole through it. A helicopter enters the room and continues attacking him. Having had enough, Renshaw catches it with a towel and bangs the toy to the ground. Following that, he flushes the remains down the toilet, but the soldiers refuse to give up. At last he drops a plugged-in hair dryer into the water and finally kills them. He then decides to spend rest of the night in the bathroom where he will remain safe. Few hours later, a shadow appears beneath the door. A soldier from outside leaves a note for him asking him to surrender. He is amazed by the toy's smartness. He in turn writes "screw you" on the paper. When he goes to put it back, he realizes it's a trap. A group of soldiers with tanks are ready to fire at him. The impact makes many more hole in the door. To save his life he climbs outside the window but can hardly escape from the 14th floor of the building. He walks toward the balcony but just then another helicopter attacks him because he is in edge. The soldiers are second away from pushing him off. At that moment Renshaw fires a single shot that crashes the helicopter. When he gets back on the balcony he finally sighs of relief. Inside more soldiers are pointing the cannon at the window waiting for him to return. Man thinks of a plan. He distracts the soldiers using a rubber duck in the swimming pool. Then he attacks them with a fire extinguisher. From the other side as they try to run away another group of soldiers catches his attention. They circle around him on a jeep while firing. Renshaw uses a lighter and a spray to create a flamethrower and burns them alive. He even gets a knife and chops their bodies into pieces out of anger. Following that he returned to the group that is fighting the fire extinguisher and smashes them with a box. At last all the soldiers are killed. Renshaw lies down with a burnt plastic and moves it around. To make sure that all of them are dead he counts them and matches them to the number on the box. When the number match he is finally relieved but he forgets about the bonus surprise that was written on the back of the box. He drinks and takes a swim to relax. Suddenly someone cuts his wrist from inside the water. He instantly comes outside and sees that he needs immediate stitching. He stitches the cut himself and then decides to leave the penthouse so the remaining soldiers wouldn't attack him again. When he goes into the elevator suddenly the light go out and Button's panel break, ensuring that Renshaw doesn't open the elevator door at his will. He uses a flashlight to look around but sees no one. When the panel flashes again he notices a single commando inside it. The toy runs out of the elevator through a missing ceiling panel. As Renshaw follows him behind he notices that elevator is stuck and he has no way to escape. As a last resort he jumps on top of a second elevator. He removes a ceiling panel and enters inside. Happy that he is finally safe. But his happiness doesn't last long as he finds that the commando has followed him inside. The toy uses a knife to stab Renshaw repeatedly, but because of the size difference it does him little harm. Renshaw then catches the commando and puts him in between the elevator doors. The doors crush his head killing him at last. Man smiles at the toy's headless body but soon discovers that it is attached to an explosive. Soon the bomb explodes killing him in the process. Then scene shifts to the box where we see a sticker attached to the toy box that says the box consists of a commando and a thermonuclear weapon as bonus gifts. Somewhere else the stolen green fairy moves on her own. That's all for today folks. Thanks for watching. Stay blessed and see you in the next video.